back out there.
My phone died, so Joe got some video on his iPhone 3.
You thought you got the new one now?
No, I got like 18 pixels now. Oh, 18? Yeah.
Not only, what are we, like 4 days later, getting ready for another track day?
Yeah.
Nice.
Thursday. Yeah, 4 days.
4 days later, already working to get this thing ready for another track day. As you guys saw on the first track day video, sir, he had a little incident and fender got crunched, brand new fender. So he is cutting everything out to hopefully prevent that from happening on the other side and prevent it from getting worse on this side. Hopefully that's enough, right?
Hopefully.
Should be fine.
Should be.
Let me get that real quick for me. I'll help you out here on your top of your head here, bud. Okay, here you go. Okay.
All right, it's test day 2, and we are getting ready to load the car up. Well, we gotta fire the car off, put some water back in it because we did a smaller restrictor plate and different throttle springs. We rescaled the car. Yeah, so you can see on the scales, the legs are extended out. So this basically levels the scales, so the car is sitting on a level surface compared to what it was. And compared to the front here to the back, you can tell we weren't on the level surface the first time we did it. So now we got it all right and squared away. So a bunch of little small stuff we got back together. We didn't get the master cylinders in time to do it for this, but that's okay. We're still gonna go out and run and work on some suspension tuning. So yeah, a couple more things to do and we're loading up and getting over there. Okay.
Go, go, go.
So Carlton was having an issue with the throttle kind of hanging up a little bit, but it wasn't really a throttle hang. The RPM would jump up to like 1900 when it was just idling. Well, they thought that the springs weren't sufficient enough on the throttle return. So we put some heavier duty springs in there. And just now when he fired it up, I noticed that it was at 1900. I said, hey, I think it's still hung up. And he was able to pull the throttle pedal back and it dropped it down to 1200 where the idle's set. So it looks like there's an issue in the pedal getting hung up a little bit and just pulling a little tension on the throttle cable. Something easy to fix, not gonna hold us from going out today. Looks like cooling system is gonna finish bleeding and get this thing out of here. Okay, got the coolant bled, got the jets changed, and now we're gonna do one last fire up, check for leaks, head over to the track. Truck's almost loaded, just gonna put those in there. Hour and a half late. It's okay. Still got till 7, so that's good. Got tail light out. Better call it.
One ball.
Got a better call today. Got the tail light out. Can't make it over. Getting spacers put on. We got to take them off every time we get the car on the trailer because it's too wide. So getting those tossed on. And Buddy's ready to roll. Of course, the new brake masters showed up right before we were about to leave, so didn't have time to do that. It's just super firm pedal, which I'm sure he talked about. So we went down in master size to help with the firmness and get the correct size in there. So should be ready to roll. All right, so Joe's giving us some suspension advice. We made a couple caster changes, sent them back out there, and we're having an issue with this kit. The top bolt is slotted on the knuckle, and it keeps sliding in and causing it to go max camber. As you can see,
Back to zero.
max cambered in, and it just keeps slipping, and we think it has something to do with the powder coat that's on there. So as you can see, it's all powder coated, and what happens is that top nut slips and just causes it to be able to slide. I tightened it, so sorry. A little tight. See, it was that tight, and it still slips.
Damn.
So what we're gonna do is get it to where it can't do that anymore. Put a lug back there, or do something, because Carlton noticed right away and just came in. So just the top one. Oh no, you're right. You do need to loosen the bottom. You just gotta loosen it. That's it. So we'll pull that back out, and then we're gonna set it back at 0 toe, and then get them out there. So, how you feeling, buddy? Good.
Yeah. Have a good time.
Couple of suspension changes, and then back out.
Yep.
Cool. You know us, just a little redneck ingenuity.
Bro, drift car build, fucking bungee cord on the throttle.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about it. We're figuring it out, dude. It's a test session. Come on. Give him a break. So I got some bad news for you and some good news.
It's bad news.
Bad news is your windshield's cracked. Good news is we have another one
Which windshield?
in the corner.
We already knew it was cracked.
No, it's cracking. Yeah, it's going up.
It had a crack in it.
Oh, it's going up.
Yeah.
It's not like it's getting vibrated or anything.
But hey, we got one at the house. Just means that I don't get it, you get it.
Means I have to pay to get a pull.
Yeah, that's the only downfall. So more throttle cable issues. Still trying to get this thing dialed in. Changing up the springs and kind of moving the throttle cable up and down. It's just hanging up on them and causing the RPMs to rise. So just trying to get it dialed in. It's a new car, new setup. So you get these kinds of things. You'll have that on these big jobs, right, Trevor?
Yeah.
So Trevor jumped out, Joe's gonna jump in. Throttle's still hanging a little bit. What Carlton's really trying to get used to is the fact that he's got a shit ton more angle right now. So coming out of, you know, turn one, or whatever you want to say, the 3/8 or whatever, he's letting off throttle, because in the Fox he'd be on throttle for the first outer, and then he'd let off, coast through the second outer, and then back on throttle. Well, when you have an FDF kit and almost 700 horsepower, you don't have to do that anymore. You can stay on throttle the whole time. That's what we're trying to get him in the mindset of doing. But you got to remember, this is his second time ever driving the car, second time ever driving with a real legit angle kit. So he's working on it. He's doing really good. I think he's happy. We made some good suspension adjustments. Maybe make a couple more to dial everything in. We need to start dialing in the shocks next. But we got about a half an hour left of this test session, so I think he's just gonna keep ripping it and have fun. Power steering?
That was good last few runs.
Power steering? Relay?
With the seat, hopefully.
Yeah.
I was really worried about the front bumper. That's why I wanted to come in.
Please don't.
Just kidding, I didn't know it was like that.
Power steering went out. Most likely it's the relay. What do you think about that? It's an 80 amp relay.
Who knows? It's a Ford. It It was weird though because
It's a Toyota pump, dude.
I turned all
It's
the
a
way
Chinese relay.
Hey, that's where the best stuff comes from.
because I turned in and we stopped, right? And the power
Yeah.
steering was good, but then when I went to take off, it was bad.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
kind of odd.
Yeah.
Might have just overheated from sitting here.
Yeah. Kind of, it seems to go out at the weird times because remember when you were just full lock the other night?
Yeah.
Checking that, it just went out.
Yeah. But
So.
remember, we don't know if that pump is exactly.
100% good. Yeah, that's for sure. So.
Oh, the relay went out when you were just.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it might be the pump. It might be the pump drawing too much because it's going out.
It's supposed to be.
Or power steering.
Excuse me? Can you not? Talk about power steering issues, dude. Fuck, it's another 4, dude. God damn it.
Things.
So exact same thing as the other relay. Just kind of got too hot and melted a little bit. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but stinks. So toss in a new relay so we can get it on the trailer.
All right, it's the day after the test day. I think Tori told me I needed to do an outro, so. Test day 2 went really good. We're still having some small issues, so we are still having an issue with throttle hanging, even though I put those heavier springs on. So that's going to be something that we are going to have to completely probably re-engineer and come up with a different bracket for it, and maybe we're going to include another spring up top here pulling back, because that's kind of how another way that you can set these up. So yeah, that was one of the issues we were having. Nothing new. We knew that was kind of there. We were just hoping this would fix it, but it didn't. And this is still the same thing, no brakes. So that's what I'm working on right now. Starting to get everything pulled apart in here to redo the brake masters. But other than that, the test day went really good. We made a few suspension changes, which I'm sure Tori talked about as we were doing it. Added a little more caster to the car, adjusted tow, and just did some slight changes, and I actually got comfortable in the car. We didn't change too much because I wanted to go back out there and drive it and learn how to actually drive this car. And it went really good. Towards the end of the day, I was doing a lot better. There's a huge difference between driving this car here and driving my own old Fox body. So this car here has a lot more angle, better angle kit on it, and a lot more power. And what I'm learning is how to drive with both and utilize both, so that way that's how the car likes to be driven. So you'll see probably in the last clip, my best run of the day for doing figure eights. I started to understand when Joe was talking to me about how I need to drive it. I started to understand that the car really wants more. So it was a good way to end it. And then we had a power steering pump relay pop. Another thing we got to tackle on these cars, and we've had the issue with Tori's, and we're having it with mine. We don't know if this is a bad pump or something's wrong. Maybe I need a bigger relay, but something we're gonna have to dial in. But it popped into the day, so I just called it because we only had about 10-15 minutes left of the track time. So yeah, overall, really happy with day 2 of the car. Nothing crazy has happened. Everything's maintained pretty well, and everybody's on top of the suspension and getting it dialed in. And there's still more adjustments we're gonna make to feel the car out and try and make it a little bit more aggressive as I develop driving it. So other than that, hope you enjoyed test day 2 in this car. We got some work to do before our next test day, and that will be this Sunday, and today is Wednesday. So lots of work to do. Gonna get back to it and get it ready for another outing and some more seat time. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.